Hi everyone.
Yes, I have an additional member with me.
Yeah, most of you might know me from chat as Harmonic Clone on occasion, but I'm Mike, the community manager for Slug Disco, and John's brother, and I'm up visiting for a couple of days, so I'm going to join in for this stream.
Yay! So, as usual, what are we doing today? Well, first off, you shall see on the screen that we are back on one of the side missions we were working on before. This one's the one where you've got an idiot colony, an idiot ally. I've spoken to Liam and Matt, and unfortunately they haven't got the movement working on the surface just yet. In fact, Liam has been spending his time working on underground movement, trying to make it more efficient. So, unfortunately, we can't actually test anything still. However, we can set it up so it's all ready to be balanced when we are able to test it. And that's my plan, to have these three side missions that I'm working on ready to get them to a state where as soon as surface movement is back in the game, I can just play them and balance them. We'll do that on stream as well. So I have a list of things that I want to happen during this mission. Essentially, it's a list of actions that the computer is going to take, and as it stands, I think I'm just going to put them 5 minutes apart and just make it go 5 minutes apart. Hello, Raptor. You're always one of the first ones into the stream. Good to have you with us. So I'm going to have them just as actions 5 minutes apart, and when we come to balance the level, we will sort that out. Okay, so I was actually yesterday. I came back to this level and I started looking at the enemy base. Now this is the kind of enemy's plan for their base. I'm not sure why that's one's highlighted. That's probably some sort of bug. Actually, no, that might not be a bug. That might be a room here that isn't actually used. No function yet. That'd be what that is. So I'm going to bin that. So room 0, 1, 2, and 3. That one's still there, but I reckon it will disappear as soon as I do that. Yep. Okay. And also, I'm also digging corridors. I set some corridors up to dig, but I haven't finished that yet. But we'll get there as we reach those places. I think at the moment there's it would be Wellcopter, one of our other regulars. Good to have you with us. You're here right at the start. Well done. So I'm gonna set the corridor stuff up as we go, mostly because I think it will impact other things. So that'll probably be a corridor there that it digs to allow access to those rooms, etc., etc., etc. So then, now what's on my list of things for the computer to do? So first things first, they need to. The computer's going to try and emerge from their nest and run into a bunch of spiders. Now I have. Here's some spiders that I prepared earlier. As soon as I fly over there. Okay, so this is the computer's nest entrance. And it's got spiders hanging around it. And basically, the computer... Actually, this isn't entirely true. There's something else it needs to do first. So I'm just going to add it into my list, which is dig the corridor to first room. Okay, so going back to then... Oh, just slow myself down and speed myself up. Okay, going back to their nest. Setting up trouble for the computer. No, are we? Yes. Yes, we are. The computer's going to have some serious issues. This
Yeah. The
this
mission is
level.
look after the dum-dum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing the computer's going to do is tunnel these two out, which is going to tunnel this out, which is going to tunnel this area out as well, which will have some food in for the computer. Then once they've done that, actually, they need to harvest the food. It's an interesting one, that, because they might manage it themselves without, like, they might manage it themselves without me telling them to harvest it, just because they've got some extra walls to dig out, so they might attack things. However, they won't necessarily manage it. So maybe their second action should be harvest room creatures. Then their third action should be remove workers from group 1. Okay, so already things are getting more complicated. Hey, Blueman, good to have you here. Didn't think there would be a stream today. It was a pleasant surprise to receive the notification. Yeah, I think I was planning on streaming yesterday, but I was dealing with a problem that was a bit of a headache. So instead, I kind of shipped it over to today, and it made sense since Mike was up as well.
Hello.
Okay, so let's deal with these actions. So we're going to take a look at the level blueprint. Okay, so the level code. This is what's in the level code at the minute, and this is all. This is some setup. Now, my plan for the way this level's going to work is literally going to be a set of timers, going one after another. We'll adjust the time on those timers. Based on the balance. So here's a set of timers anyway, and this one's actually about the computer's AI. So the computer is increasing their bank. Now their bank is the amount of food they have in their bank before they build stuff. Where am I? We're in the same location that we normally are. We just got the camera at a different angle. So
that way a bit, so
yeah.
you can see me.
Yes. I mean, if I do this, it will look normal again. Here you are. You've got some behind the scenes look at
John's man cave.
My office. Although I do play computer games in here as well. Okay, so here we've got those two things. Now I'm going to create an extra event graph. Do I need to create an extra event graph? I will do, just to keep things neat. I could make it into a macro or something like that. There's various ways of organising your blueprints. However, I think I'm just going to create a new event graph and call it level sequence. Now, there's a few ways you could do this, but I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to have timers, and they're just going to go off one after another. So custom event here.
Both of you look like a twin almost. Well, we are brothers.
Yes,
There's 18 months between us, but we are brothers. So yeah, some resemblance is expected.
We've got different hair colours, so that'll help you tell us apart.
Yes. I've got the slightly darker hair. Yeah.
And I've got the slightly less hair.
John's also closer to the camera. Yeah. John's got a bit of a widow's peak. I've managed to avoid that so far.
Okay, so start sequence.
Bernie says we both look really well, John.
Look well, excellent.
When Bernie.
Oh, Bernie.
Bernie.
Okay, so start sequence. So there we are. At the beginning of the level, it's going to do its normal stuff. I think this is like setting up objectives and stuff like that. Yeah, there's the defeat objective and the victory objective. That's the AI setup, and then we're going to start the sequence. Okay. First things first, we need the computer to dig its first corridor. Now, I've already set up a function to do this. So, bot actions, bot dig corridor note. So, as the game starts, I'm going to get it to dig the first corridor. There's no reason for it to mess around. It's going to dig that corridor. Although, I might give it a slight delay. Right, so there's a couple of ways I could do this. I could do it so we had the timers, so it ticked down the timers, or I could do it with delays. Seeing as it's going to be such a linear sequence of events, I might just literally do it with delays, just add in delays in between. So we'll give it 3 seconds, then it's going to dig the first corridor.
If you guys wearing gentleman clothes, that would be neat. Next time I come up, John, I'll bring my tux with me, alright? We'll do a tux stream.
I think I've got a bow tie around here somewhere. No, that's wasting time.
Not productive.
Okay. So, spilling coffee down me. What else is new? Just saving it now, and we can actually test this one because unfortunately, movement only seems to work on your underground, the player's underground at the moment. I know Liam's working on fixing that, but we'll notice the enemy colony completely glitching out. But basically, 3 seconds after this starts, the enemy should dig the corridor. Yep, there we go. So there's that corridor, first corridor. You see the enemy's movement glitching there. Lovely. But it's okay in our underground. Okay, so there we go. That works. Okay, the next action on the list is harvest room creatures. Okay, so we need to give them enough time to actually dig the corridor. I'll say about 10 seconds. Okay, so this is this next action's a bit tricky. We need to add the room into group 1 and then place the marker for group 1. Now, adding the room into group 1 is something I'm going to have to remind myself how to do. I've done it a couple of times, but I think I've only done it at the start of levels and such. Let me think. Okay, so this might be a bot action, really. Like, as in being Liam's bot code. Having a quick look. Not the Hivebot. Hivebot is something Liam was working on a while ago, and isn't actually used in the game.
Hivebot is the potentially fully autonomous AI which digs out its own underground, but that's it's not used in the campaign. It's probably going to be used at some point in free play or such like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not yet.
If he gets around to finishing it.
Other things first.
I think the first implementation of free play AI will probably also be the sequence bot, just so we've got something. And
forever's a long time. Plenty of time to do things.
So that's data supplement. I think it's called functions, shared bot construction functions. Right, let me see if. Don't know if there is a. If there is a method added into this yet to move rooms into a group. Okay, let's have a quick look. Find path. None. These are. Populate relative hexes. Dig out hex by level. Return hex tiles. Return hex tiles over ground. Dig tile. That's what I'm using for the dig. Cheat spell test. Get colony overview for Formicarium Lab 2 AI. That's a very specific function. Okay, so I can't see anything useful in there. I might have a look at Liam's AI for level 3.2. 3.1. So I'm just searching for it, so I don't have to actually open the whole level, because you can just open the blueprint if you search for it. There it is. Right. What does chat say? I think we clearly know what they're doing in the enemy colony. Try to make it a little bit unpredictable. Oh no, PvP. No PvP yet. Okay, it's opening this blueprint. There we go. Okay, so this is level 3.1. See, I don't actually know if he moves groups in this. That was a mistype. Room. Right, so it looks like he's looking at the tile grid, looking at rooms. Looking at the tiles in the room. Right, let's have a look at the tile grid then. Right, I know here I have like a room marker number. There we are. So that allows me to place a room in a room in a specific marker number at the beginning of the level, but it doesn't do anything later. So what we could do, which is possibly the simplest option, is to have group 1 of the enemies be their home group ants and basically place the marker down at the beginning and then remove the marker later. I think that's the simplest way of doing it.
Is this just an extra stream, or will you stream on Thursday and Friday this week as well? The stream tomorrow, but
We'll definitely stream Thursday. I'm not sure about Friday yet.
Friday's a bit all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's not an extra stream really. It's just a stream, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not replacing the Thursday stream. So you can definitely expect us to be here tomorrow. Room marker 1. Okay. So I'm going to put this room in group 1. I believe the rooms that haven't been built yet, we can... Yeah, I think I'm going to put them all in group 2. But I believe I do that on the... I believe I do that on here. So group ID, there we are. 2. 2. 2. 2. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to create a function for placing markers. I've done this before in level 2.1, and Liam will have done this in 3.1. Yes, 2.2. So I think I'll get it from 2.2 because it'll be the most basic form of it there. And I don't need anything complicated here. All I need is a marker to be placed down somewhere. Nothing clever. Okay, so let's do this. I've already got one. This one's actually taken from 3 point... Or is it 2? This might be taken from 2.1. No, 2.2. I think this one's taken from 2.2. Okay. Okay, move bot to position. First of all, this... I am actually going to need it to delete themselves, so I'll have to look at that as well. Okay, so... Okay, so it looks like in this version what we did... Yeah, I don't need that. Don't need anything to do with the deadly water volume. So if it's equal to -1... Okay, so I'm going to add an extra input in. So there's position, but I'm also going to have group 1. So it's going to be group 1 or group 2. The computer's only going to have two groups, and this boolean's going to determine which group it's moving. So for a branch here. Okay, maybe I don't need a branch there. So let's have a look at what it's doing. So here it's moving markers to the queen. Do I want to do that? I know why this was done. That's to make it react faster, but I don't think we care about that here. This is actually what we want. Okay, so rather than group, we're going to change that to an integer. We should just be able to get it. Oh, hang on, I need to compile, don't I? Yep. There we are. Okay, so yeah, it's colony ID 1 still. Okay, so we're getting the call to arms from the group that came in. If it's valid, we set its ID to 0 and grey it out. And this one's looking for ID 2, so this one's looking for group 2, but we've essentially, we don't need that. Don't need that. This is actually what we need. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, so if we move it to position -1, what's going to happen is it's going to remove the marker. I'll put a comment around that on the same, along the same lines. Next, we need to come up with marker positions. Now, these are probably best represented by points on the minimap. Minimap? Points on the map. Now, I'll just have an array for them. So let's set that up now. Okay, so I'm going to set up the first couple of things I'm going to need them to do, but this is here we're going to have a branch, I think, based on group. Yeah. What's going on in chat? Oh, not much.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Do let us know if you've got any questions or anything like that.
Okay, I've done all that.
Cool.
Yeah, we're just doing a bit of while John's working on the game, I'm doing a bit of admin here and there as well.
Yeah.
Tidying up the website and things, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Start work on the newsletter, which should be in the next week or so.
Mm. There we go. Maybe we can get a sneak peek of some of the starting of the newsletter.
We might have little screenshots or something to show you.
Mm. Right. Okay. So. Right. So we don't need anything to do with the deadly water volume to start with. Right. In the level sequence. I'm going to make an extra function that's just going to be a setup function. Setup arrays. All this is going to do is it's going to take things that are on the level and add them into an array. Keep saving after I do everything, which is fine. It's good practice. Only it takes about 30 seconds to save. So I move one thing slightly left, save it, and I've got to wait 30 seconds.
We apologise to anyone with real problems.
Okay.
Welcome says he's editing the unofficial Discord server we've made for the game.
All right,
cool.
cracking.
Yeah, as we said, quite happy for people to do unofficial ones as long as they make it clear it's unofficial. We might do a Discord properly at some point, but right now it's a bit much.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, there's no need right now. We've got enough things to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's the thing at the minute. We got to maintain the things we have, so we don't appear dead anywhere. It's a funny thing, with marketing. Really, is if you set up channels of communication and then you stop communicating in that area, people assume you've disappeared.
The thing is, when you've got 10 channels of communication, then it becomes a full-time job really to keep track of it. Hence hiring someone to do it. Really.
Yeah.
Like most larger companies do.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of the massive companies struggle with it, so as a tiny company, it's quite difficult. Well, I've noticed some of the bigger companies now taking like leads from what the little companies doing, like being more honest with their development processes and that sort of thing.
Honesty is good. I think a lot of the bigger ones are tied by literally what the developers can say.
Yeah, NDAs and.
I mean, a good example recently would be Hearthstone. A lot of people complain a lot that the developers are not very communicative. I don't think they're allowed to be.
Yeah, they're under the Activision branch, so.
Yeah. So there's very clear. Only social media people probably are allowed to, and even they are quite heavily restricted in what they can say. So it's not their fault. I'm sure the
it's kind of a failing of the big
to talk to
business.
You about things,
yeah.
But we have a bit more freedom in that point of view. So
interestingly, like Bungie recently split with Activision.
Oh yeah.
And they're and now they're releasing a lot of in-depth behind-the-scenes stuff. It's interesting to see what happens when you release from the grass.
The floodgates are opened. Yeah, with people stuff that they've wanted to talk about for so long. I'm sure.
Right. Okay. So I need to create these arrays. So I'm just going to add them in. Group 1 move. Group 1 marker. Pos. It's going to be an array of points. What is it called? Target point. An array of target point references. There we go. And group 2 marker pos. Okay, so in the level, the very first location the computer's going to move its marker to is here. And I think that is going to be the only time group 1 marker gets moved. Then group 2, its first marker movement is going to be right on top of their own nest, where they're going to try and kill the spiders, and they're going to fail, and you're going to have to save them. Oh. Okay, so those have been put into an array, which we will expand upon as we go down our list of what stupid things we want the computer to do.
Have it send all of its workers and none of its soldiers to attack an enemy.
I don't think it's going to have any soldiers by this point. So it's literally going to be trying to kill 3 little spiders with workers. It's going to be doing a terrible job.
That won't work, no.
Yeah. I suspect it'll probably be a good 5.
Literally going to be the only objective in the top left. Keep the other colony alive! Exclamation mark.
No, I added it. The idea is that you've got to kill everything in the level as well. So apart from the secret Uber crab, that you guys made me add last time.
Don't go for the Uber crab, guys. It won't end well.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Whalecopter Uber crab.
You might have missed that stream.
No, you're not playing free play here. You're not going to be able to kill an Uber crab. It won't work. How tough is the Uber crab?
Right.
Ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
The idea of Ubers is kind of end game stuff for gigantic free play colonies. They don't really work in campaign mode apart from as a little joke. So as a little joke in a side mission, sure, but
Okay.
shall we bring up stats for it? Stats for the Uber crab, John.
I'm in the middle of something. In a bit.
Okay, we'll bring up the stats in a while.
Okay, so moving to position. Okay. Okay, so first of all, the position need so yeah. No, group. Okay, so if you're looking at group, if we're looking at group 1, we set the selected group positions to the group 1 away. If we're looking at group 2, we set it to the group 2 away. Very simple. There's no such thing as group 0, so we're not going to worry about that. So if position is less than or equal to if position is less than or equal to the length of the array, so as long as we're not outside the array,
Okay, bringing up stats for the hermit crab, by the way. A standard hermit crab has 1500 health. The Uber has 18,750. So we're not just talking a small increase here.
it's an order of magnitude.
It's literally an order of magnitude more tough.
That's one of the. I think it's got the highest health of any Uber though, because that's one of its
They're
things.
tanks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, a normal hermit crab does 10 damage. A hermit crab that's an Uber does 50. So these are. Don't attack it, mate. Just leave it.
Don't do it. I think they do AOE damage as well, the Ubers. Yeah, you've got to look in their abilities to look at that.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the ability sheet for that one.
I don't actually think they use their base attack damage. Okay, so that's just a quick check to make sure it's not outside the range.
Another coffee, mate.
Yeah.
Decaf, yeah?
Yeah, decaf. I've had too much caffeine today already. It doesn't take me long to have too much caffeine, as you can imagine. You know the rate I guzzle coffee. Okay, so get. Okay, so it gets the point at that position, gets its location, spawns a marker there. Now, okay, so the marker ID is the group. It's not just ID 1. Colony ID is 1, that's fine. Call to arms marker, fine. I think that's fine. Right, delete this lot. I think I can delete these now as well. Yeah, that looks a lot neater than the other one. Right, put a comment on it. For Formga Fusca, the melee ability is basically a defense. Yeah, there. Yeah, they're not the melee. You're right. The melee wood ants are very weak. Well, not weak. They've got a very weak attack. It pretty much does nothing. Does their attack? That's why they're flagged as tanks, really, rather than damage dealers. They're nowhere near as tanky as the leaf cut tanks, but they're also a lot cheaper than the leaf cut tanks as well. In fact, the leaf cut tanks actually do a fair amount of damage, but they're so expensive. Okay. Right. So let's test this. And the way I can test it I've got a test set up here. That was the test in the corridor thing. This one is bot move to position. I'm going to move group 2 to position 0. Okay, so when I press the right bracket on the keyboard, it should move group 2 to position 0. Now, there's not going to be anyone in group 2 at the minute.
Get on that.
Right, here we go. So pressing the right bracket should move group 2 to position 0. But in order to see this, I need to go to the... Well, I need to tunnel to the surface at the least. Oh, look at all that pathing failure. Ugh! That's an interesting colour.
So many errors, it becomes kind of useless, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure in Liam's tests, he's got a very small test group. But okay, so basically pressing the right bracket, I should see a call to arms marker. Right, in order to see where this is, because it'll be invisible to me. There we are. Yep, that worked. So we actually got two call to arms markers, interestingly. This looks like one from...
Why is it all blue? Is that just the lighting?
I'm not sure. It started happening recently. I think there's been a bug introduced with the lighting. I don't know why, but on the surface, the lighting when you switch there goes weird.
Yeah.
I'll raise that with Matt.
Might not be a thing, really.
Ignore the weird blueness. Pretend it does not exist. I was wondering what the desktop audio was. It's the sounds of the flowing water. I'm going to turn that down a bit. Looks like Matt's aware of it.
He's aware of many things.
I said, lighting weird on the surface of my levels. Has something changed? He says, yes, probably. When you run it, right? Yep. Yep, when I run it.
Matt's more or less the expert in these things.
He's
And
the person who set
all
that.
things, really. Yeah.
I'll need to hook some things in. Oh, it looks like he's made some changes which need to be done.
It's all fine. There's open engine surgery going on. It's all right. Yeah, not everything works, you know. It's fine. It'll all be put back together. It'll kind of work. John, whereabouts in marketing did you put screenshots that you were talking about?
I just created a new folder. It's just called monthly level something.
That one. There we are.
I only put one in there at the minute.
Yeah, cool. It's a good start.
I'll get one for this level soon, but it's this level still needs a lot. And it still needs paint work done on the surface.
Yeah.
Needs a paint job.
Cool, good stuff.
Thanks very much, Project Zero. You're too kind.
Yeah, thanks very much for the kind words. We do appreciate it. Although we're not doing it out of the goodness of our hearts, guys.
We're doing it because we love it. I love it.
Just doing my job. It's not my fault if I love it.
Spot the reference.
Yeah, that's going to be
That's
little
it.
clue. Little clue.
Yeah.
No one's going to get that. No one's going to get. Someone in about 6 months on YouTube will comment. Actane, I'm in class right now. Pay attention to your class. Lessons are important. Okay?
What am I doing? Right. Move to position. Okay, so we need to... Right, so that works. I also want to test removing it, so left bracket, and basically if I do bottom move to position. Oh, and I also want to remove call to arms from the map initially, because these are from, yeah, they don't need to be initially on the map, so just removing them and saving. So I'm gonna have to wait another 30 seconds. Cheers.
Just enough time for the countdown. Do, 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 do.
I should the countdown clock timer start every time I press the save
I
button.
think that could be arranged.
Boom. Done. It's done. Just prepare it for the next.
Okay, we're ready. Right. Next time it happens.
But in about 3 seconds' time when I press save again. Okay, so after placing the marker with the right
Sarah,
bracket.
or Hannah, Conosis.
Oh yeah, one of the
Yes,
other.
It's one of them. One of our sisters.
The dizzy heights.
11 viewers. Yeah. Hi Sarah. We can get more viewers by spamming Steam.
Yeah.
If we spam Steam, we could get 70 or 80 viewers, but the problem is that'll drop off really quick. And if we do that too often, people just get sick of it.
Yeah, so it's best to do that for important.
Save it for important ones, like we might do it when you do your launch of new free play stuff or something that. Yeah. But for now, yeah, it's a small number is manageable. We can chat to you guys. It's okay. This game has opened my eyes to the world of ants so much. Just wondering what your thought process is for choosing different species over others like fire ant versus gene pea. Well, several things. I mean, when we first made the game way back when, we made a bunch of different models for species without really too much thought about how they were going to really interact with each other or play. So we had 15 odd species with models. We can't use those models now. They're far too low resolution and definition for the engine we've got now. But what we've found is that by limiting our scope of which species we want to do and concentrating on them, we can make them much more fully fleshed out and have a much better experience. A more focused quality ant species is way better than an unfocused quantity of ant species.
Yeah.
And how we go about choosing them? Well, black ants, you want to start off with a simple, familiar species, don't you? So black ants, Formica fusca, are fairly common species around a lot of the world. Everyone really knows them to some extent. The slightly larger black ants, as opposed to Lasius niger. And then the wood ants, well, wood ants spit acid. As very aggressively and as part of their kind of thing, and that's a great RTS mechanic, isn't it?
Yeah. So that tied in well with what I wanted to do. But also, expanding on what Mike says, the ants. I think ants have had a bit of a bad rep in pop culture in general for a while, in that they don't really show the proper diversity of it. It's just they tend to just be ants. There's ants. So to really do species some justice with focus levels specifically around them and flesh out their mechanics and what based on what they do in nature.
Having the narrator talk about them, it's slightly educational. It's more than slightly educational. You can listen to the narrator and learn stuff about ants. I mean, who couldn't know what you know about leafcutters and not find them utterly fascinating?
Mm-hmm.
And who couldn't feel a little bit sorry for them? They just want to go and collect leaves. They don't want to deal with anything, but other things want to deal with them. So they'll fight. Do you not feel a bit of sympathy towards them? You do.
They don't pick one up. Because they will defend themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You must have seen that video.
Yeah, they slice through flesh.
They can give you a nasty nip. I mean, game-wise, there is only different selected types of ant, and there are over 12,000 species. Of course, there are over 12,000 species. We can't do 12,000 species though. We have to choose ones that we want to do. So you start off simple. You add more complex. Things that are RTS-like is good. Things that are unique is better, like leafcutters. As far as we're aware, our game has more or less a unique resource gathering system in the leafcutters. I don't think any other game does it like that, does it?
Can't think of any.
Yeah. Although there is someone on Twitter who's doing a leafcutter game as part of their
I saw that as
thesis.
thesis.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I'll keep a close eye on that. In fact, she she messaged us when a search for leafcutter trailer. We overtook her project.
Okay, so back to the level sequence essentially. Okay, so we're waiting 10 seconds. Then after 10 seconds, we move group 1 to position 0. Okay, so during this time, Liam's bot code should be actually start constructing that room. Again, we can't test it because the ants can't move underground in the enemy nest. But during that time, they'll start constructing that room. So we've given some time now because we've moved them to that room. They pick stuff up, so we probably want to delay for a while now. So that's them harvesting the room creatures. Right, so next thing we probably want to do is remove the workers from that group. So 5 minutes later, so 5 minutes will pass at this point. 60 times 5, 300. Probably could have worked that out in my head. So 300 seconds pass. Giving you, the player, time to set up your own nest. Because after this 300 seconds, the computer's going to do the first stupid move. He's going to only have workers, or she'll only have workers, and she's going to try and go to the surface. Have you seen that video that's been going around recently? We've actually been posted it by about... I think two of my friends have posted it to me, and we got posted on Twitter, I think. There's one about ants at the minute, like an educational video, and it goes on about leafcutter ants and army ants attacking leafcutters, actually. It's quite interesting, that quite well timed, really. So, wait 300 seconds, then what we do is we actually remove the marker. We remove group 1 marker, so we move it to position -1. At the same time, we move group 2 marker. So group 2 marker at this point should have some workers in it. We move group 2 marker to position 0. Right.
One supercolor can reach tens of thousands of workers, especially with more than one queen, easily.
Talking about leaf cutters, it's hundreds of thousands.
He's talking about super colonies with more than one queen, so that could be things like leaf cutters. I find it...
Wood ants do super colonies.
Wood ants, I mean, yeah. But I find leaf cutters a bit more fascinating, in that even in the really big ones with millions, there's only one queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a monarchy. They really are.
Well, you say that, but
Not
the queen's not really in command.
No. She sits there in latex.
Yeah, I think it was Matt that said this, but the queen's more of a slave to her ovaries.
Yes. No, she doesn't give commands. That animated film lied.
Yeah.
Ants. Yeah. My personal favourite is fire ants. Well, I've got some good news for you, my friend. Yeah. The next set of levels will feature fire ants.
Well,
the next set of
next campaign
main campaign levels, but we will be releasing little side missions in the meantime.
Yeah, the monthly levels will be coming as soon as we can get them out.
Yeah, basically, I think it should start shortly after the free play update is out.
Yeah,
and then regularly after that.
I'll possibly release the first one with the free play update, actually.
Yeah, so what John's working on now is going to be one of these side missions. Yeah, quite a bit of replayability and variety to the game, and over time, a lot more content.
Oh yeah. To be honest, when we're finished, there'll probably be more monthly levels than
There will.
than actual campaign level.
Well, there's going to be 10 campaign levels, aren't there?
Yeah, 10 campaign
and 5 for
levels,
Macarium.
5 for Macarium side missions.
Beyond.
Oh, Tony Beyond.
Yeah, he's back. Probably missed some streams, but I was busy at the time. Don't worry about it, mate.
Don't think you missed that many.
Nah.
We were away last week, so.
Alright, I meant to ask, why did you choose to leave a direct path to the Queen from entrance and not around corner or sorts in the form carrying? For balance reasons, simple as that. If we started adding really convoluted paths to the Queen, it'd be practically impossible to balance the levels. It's as simple as that.
You can build paths that take 15 minutes for enemy creatures to walk.
Exactly, it just become easy.
I'm free play. We've allowed people to do it because
it's free play.
Yeah, it's free play. It's we're not so bothered about.
It's the same reason we haven't allowed people to build walls. Really, I mean we could. It's not a technical problem.
Actually, it is a little bit difficult. You got to consider them blocking off areas.
Well, that's the point. It's it just becomes convoluted.
Yeah.
I think is the point, allowing people to but people could build labyrinthine paths to the Queen, and all of the levels will become stupendously easy. Really, so that's why it's a balance thing. Not everything in our game. We try to reflect nature when we can, but not everything is accurate. We are making a game. That is what you have to remember. It's not a simulator.
I think everything the narrator says about ant species is right. Obviously, not the scientists, but everything the narrator says there is correct generally. But the gameplay doesn't necessarily follow reality. Also, due to limitations, we've got to kind of deal with fledgling colonies, like very young ones. So, because we can't have 1 million ants.
No.
Okay, so harvest room creatures, done that. Remove workers from group 1, done that. Try to emerge from their spiders, done that. Player is attacked. Okay, so this is the first time something else different is going to happen here. So in the level we have so up here is the small beach tiger beetles pack. This pack is going to attack the player, as in your player, and the computer's going to try and help you. It's going to be an interesting one. And this is going to be a little bit different as well, because the computer's going to try and come into your nest to save you. You probably won't need saving at this point, but it's going to try anyway.
I'm helping.
Yeah, bless it. So, now let's see if I can remember how to do this. Is there something called attack? Set up attack enemy queen. There we go. Brilliant. Nice and simple. Player queen to attack 0. Brilliant. Done. That's not right. It's another 5 minutes. Okay, so it. Oh.
I pressed something I wasn't supposed to. It's fine.
Okay, so at the same time, I'm going to tell it to move the computer to position 1. Move group 2 to position 1. Now, I'm probably going to need to add something on here as well. So I'll add it on. Just a bool. It's just going to decide whether to defend the player or not. So if it's defending the player, there's actually something else we need to do. So this. So it needs to put its marker on your nest. I believe all it needs to do is, I think there's something called target actor. I think that's all it needs to do, although I will check. So I'm going to check level methods. And basically I'm looking for this, no, it's on the thing itself. It's on this itself. Linked actor, it looks like. Yeah, I need to set linked actor. So it wasn't what I was looking at. It's not target actor, it's linked actor. I think that'll do it. Again though, it's not something I can test. Okay, so because that completely bypasses the whole group thing, I can actually just remove what it said. Saving level. This makes it so much more tense. Oh, it's done. The velvet worm is I haven't really touched it at the moment. It's not going to be touched until the movement's back working. So once we can move again on the surface and that, we shall return to actually looking at that.
It'll be in there. It's too cool a thing to not be in there. But yeah, right now. So.
Velvet Squad. Okay. So what are we doing? Okay, so level sequence. Okay, so position really doesn't matter as long as it's not -1, because it's defend player. Right, what I might get it to do then, it's going to defend the player probably for 2 minutes. Don't want to leave it in your nest for any longer than that. Particularly if you've killed the thing already. Which you probably have done by that point. Although I might make that attack a bit harsher, so you've... Okay, so up to this point we haven't actually given the computer the ability to build any... aggressive units, so I think we should probably do that earlier. Certainly if it's going to try and defend you. In fact, I might make it tunnel out to all its other rooms now. Just, in fact, quite early on I might make it do that. After it's done collecting the initial load.
Question, are you planning on adding elates? Well, not for the campaign, I don't think. The idea that those are obviously reproductive ants that are sent out. I thought it would be a cool thing for something like free play or a side mission, where you have to send out a certain number of them to complete the mission, and it's a...
Yeah, potentially.
It needs some artwork to be done. But it's as an objective for a one-off mission. Sure, I don't see why not at some point in the future.
Yeah,
but currently,
it's not. Yeah. It's not currently on the plan. It certainly wouldn't come about before the campaign's ended.
Yeah. Tell you what, John, we're really breaking the stereotypes of what British summers are like, aren't we? It's absolutely bucketing it down here in Liverpool, guys.
Lovely. Okay, so we've got what? So where's the computer attack? It's... I'm going to put some comments on some of these. So that's...
Most of the workers are female. I think more or less all the workers are female, I thought, in most other species. But a later nuptial flight can mate with the male. Yes, obviously, yeah, but actually dealing with the flight itself and mating would certainly be beyond the scope of Empires of the Undergrowth. But to release them, maybe. Yeah, but to actually follow them into the sky, no. It wouldn't really fit in the game rules that we've set up.
So this... It's at this point I'm going to get them to tunnel out the other corridors. So at the same time as they send workers to the surface, the workers that are underground are going to tunnel out basically the rest of the corridors in the nest.
It's Kickstarter EOTU vid. Yeah, you can more or less ignore the Kickstarter videos, particularly the old ones. The project has changed a lot since its initial stages.
Certainly, yeah. The first Kickstarter, the
one where you see the Queen land and stuff.
Yeah, there was that Kickstarter's not really valid anymore because that one failed anyway.
Yeah, that was also never in the game. That was just a cutscene.
Yeah, it was a cutscene.
Yeah,
I think since then we've decided against rendered cutscenes because, to be honest, they looked a bit dated, those ones already.
Don't you always feel slightly annoyed when you see a pre-rendered cutscene? Thinking, good lord, I paid for this graphics card. Why can't you do it live?
Yeah. We might experiment more with Unreal's sequence. Yeah, sequencer. It's a very powerful tool.
We've already done some fun stuff with it, like the camera pulling out of the nest and such like. Yeah.
There's all sorts you can do with it though. You can have actors be spawned and fighting and whatnot.
We could do some cutscenes.
Right, so I'm going to make corridor 1. Now I put a load of corridors in place.
Hey, Robo Boy, welcome. John is working on his look after the silly allied colony.
Yeah.
level, which will be a side mission in the game. The idea is that there's a satellite colony just setting up, and they're not very clever, so you've got to look after them so they don't die. I'm Mike. If you don't know me, I'm John's brother. I'm the social media person for Slug Disco, and I'm just doing some admin stuff and doing some work on the next newsletter, that kind of thing. Just because I'm visiting John.
Okay, so Corridor 1. Currently, Corridor 1. Unfortunately, this isn't highlighted on the map, but currently Corridor 1 appears to be only one tile big. Ah, okay. So that's, my guess is it's that tile. What's that? 17994. Corridor 1, 17994. Yeah, okay, so we want that one, but I'm also into this, I'm going to add a load of tiles to all the others. So dug that out already. That one dug out. We're going to add a route to here and a route to here. So what we got here? 16996. 15998. One 4999. And finally 14001. Okay, and one to here as well, so probably from here. 18997. One 8998. Okay, I think that'll do. You. Saving again.
You've got to tell me these things.
No, that was actually quite well done. Okay, so their corridor 1's been sorted out. So at that point in the code, we'll allow the computer to dig to its other rooms, and then it can actually decide itself what it wants to build from that point onwards. Now, I don't know how Liam's AI code is going to handle that, because in Liam's code for his level, he actually had all the corridors underground pre-dug, and I think there's a reasonable chance we will do that if it fails, but I'm holding out hope for the time being that it's not going to fail, so we shall see.
You never know.
Okay, so bot dig corridor now. Okay, so that's fine. Tunnel to all other planned rooms.
I'm slightly worried about, wondering about replete. It was on under the your honeypots to talk about. Yeah, it was on the original list that we did models for them back for the 2014 version of the game. I don't know if they'll find a place in the main campaign.
Yeah, just don't get your hopes too high on those.
Yeah. But again, it's a case of always never say never.
Yeah.
Probably not for the campaign, but
We'll see, because
we intend to support the game for a long time after release.
Yeah.
And you never know.
Mm-hmm.
We can't confirm or deny, but
and not everything in the campaign's been decided, so
Yeah.
there's a chance that certain things will be added in some small ways,
Mhm.
one or the other. It'd be a shame not to have them at some point, to be honest, but we'll see. We plan on supporting the game for a long time, even after release, like Mike said, so. Certainly whilst we're still making sales, it would be daft to stop supporting it. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so that tunnels out to the rest of the nest. We wait, then we do what? Set up attack any enemy colony. Okay, so this is player gets attacked. Computer comes to aid. Okay, so I said 2 minutes, didn't I? 1:20. The way I might do the difficulty settings in this level is just speed up the computer's stupid actions. On insane mode, it does stupid things much more quickly.
That would be a great little twist on insane. Actually, instead of having more enemies, just have the enemies. Have the ally colony stupider.
Yeah,
that would be great. I love it. Fantastic idea. News just in: Facebook has updated our top fans. So congratulations to Joshua Gutierrez and John West, who are our top fans. Friendship ended with previous top fans. Our new top fans are now John West and Joshua Gutierrez. What does that even mean, top fans?
I don't know. Probably means most interactive with your thing, or I don't really know.
It means they press like once and again.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, guys, we'll be sending the money out to you.
The fake money, Monopoly money.
10 royal jelly.
10 royal jelly. 10 royal jelly to each of our top fans.
Right, I'm going to have to leave John alone for 10 minutes or so while I go and have a sandwich.
Okay.
I don't want to eat on stream. This is not a social eating stream. I don't want to get you a coffee while you're...
No, I'm alright.
You're alright.
I've got some water here. I should probably...
Okie dokie. Yeah. Stay hydrated.
Vary my diet. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so 2 minutes afterwards, the computer's going to go home. It's not actually going to do anything for another 3 minutes because we want the 5-minute gap, but it's going to go home. So it's going to stop defending you. So position -1, that is go home. Actually, I'm not going to send it home. It hasn't actually harvested anything on the surface, the idiot. So I think at this point I'm going to send it to gather these resources. Okay, so this is going to be our second. I'm going to rename this to. I'm going to duplicate it. So it should be group 2.1. So rather than going home, it's then going to gather these resources, which it should really have done a long time ago. Ant puns. Can we think of more ant puns? Okay, so I'm going to add that into here. So I'm going to also write that into my sequence of things. Okay, so after that point, the computer is going to vampire ants. They were actually one of our stretch goals that we didn't go because we had stretch goal options. So as we hit the stretch goal, we let people decide what they wanted. I think they went for the bullet ants, but the other option was the vampire ants. They're interesting because they feed off their own larvae. I think they do, at least. I might be getting confused there. Okay, so the next thing on the list of things to do, so it's going to harvest that for roughly three minutes. It's rather than sending them home, it's going to send it to position 1, which is the surface harvesting position. Then delay. So 3 minutes later, we're going to go underground and do something stupid there. So it's going to first of all send them home. The fem player needs to be unticked. It's going to send them home, and it's going to dig out the next corridor as well. And then we need to set that corridor up. Right, I believe I have this corridor set up already, but I want to check that I haven't. Okay, I'm going to add in a test which will show us which tiles are set up to be corridors in group 0, 1 and 2. I'm saving, by the way, but I haven't got the countdown music because Mike's not here. I'm going to nip the toilet whilst that's saving. Wherever. Mike offered to make me another coffee and I turned him down like an idiot. Lovely weather today. So this is okay. I said I was gonna run a quick test to show me where everywhere that's set up as corridors. So I think it's just 0, 1, and 2 that I need to show. The rest are up to be changed anyway. Corridor 0, corridor 1, corridor 2. So that's right bracket that does that. I need to save it. Okay, so that's all the tiles that are set up as corridors. And this is the 3rd corridor. So this one's the... And the idea is this one tunnels out these here. Oh, that's another thing that's it'll be different on difficulty settings is the amount of underground enemies. There are a couple of things that'll be changed. Okay, so I want to stream until I have finished. Basically, I want to get to the point of this level that I can call it relatively done, apart from maybe a couple of the fiddly things like the camera panning out when you lose or win and that sort of thing. As such, I want to get through this list of stuff that I have here. We're about a third of the way through it. However, we will speed up because I think we've done every type of thing we need to do now. It's just an amount of it. So, I can't exactly say. I would guess that it's not going to be any longer than an hour. Or an hour and 10. So, it'll definitely be over by 3. I think the stream began about 12:30. I want to say. But basically, today I'm going to be working on this level, and when I get to the point where I'm happy with it, I will end it.
Hello.
So, where am I? Okay, so those corridors looked all right, did they? I'm not sure. There was that one on the left that looked a bit weird. Here.
You answer Tony Bourne. Tony Bjorn.
Yeah. So probably no later than 3. So an hour and 10 minutes at most, I think. I mean, I think it looks alright. But I guess the thing is that there's no need to redig this tile, so I can probably remove that from the sequence. So it's probably in corridor 2, tile 1. So I think if I just delete that, that shouldn't make any difference. Basically because that should already be tunneled out. I think that's fine. Okay.
See you, Robo Boy. Cheers for dropping in.
Okay, so where did we get to? Okay, so the next thing is for the computer to tunnel out underground, and that's what. So it's sending its stuff home, tunneling out underground. Going to give it some time to actually tunnel out before it responds to the threat. So about 10 seconds should be long enough for it to be dealt with. Then I'm going to move their army over here. Yeah. Add it into the array. Zero, 1, 2. But move to position 2. Okay, so that's going to be it responding to defend itself. Okay, what's next on the list? So it tunnels out underground. The next thing it's going to do is it's going to attack the ditch, in the ditch where the small hermit crabs are. So after a 5-minute delay again all these times are up for change. Additionally, the creatures themselves are up for change because it might just be that this is really easy, but we're going to have to wait till we can actually test the balance. So at that point I'll so this is moving to position 3, which doesn't yet exist. Maybe rather than calling this level Brood Sisters, I should call it Babysitters.
Babysitters would be great.
Babysitting. Okay, so it's these that it's going to attack next. Okay.
Or you call it brood sisters, and then the description involves babysitting. Babysit your sister.
Yeah.
Hiya, Daniel. Thanks for dropping in. Daniel Seven Sly. I recognise the name.
Okay, so I'll stick it over here so it actually harvests all the resources as well. But that's going to be its next move. Again, let's add the target point in. And that's 0.3. So it's already set to do that. So the computer at that point will attack those hermit crabs. Again, I'll give it 5 minutes. Okay, so next it's going to hit its funnel webs underground. Okay, so this is going to require another corridor being dug, and we're going to have to send group 2 home. So it's very similar to this previous stuff actually. Okay, so we're sending group 2 home. Yeah, that's right. And we're going to dig corridor 3. Now, I don't think I have a corridor 3. If I do, I'm saving it.
No. Time's up, John. How many letters did you get?
1.
Okay, and your word? We just have to ask Susie in the corner, see if that is actually in the dictionary. Hey, Verdant Shade. How's everyone? I'm grand. John's alright. John's John. Can't believe I caught a stream while out of town on business. Okay. Hoping the satellite actually keeps the stream stable.
Fingers crossed.
It's stable on our end, isn't it? We've not had a problem today.
Yeah, it's actually been unusually.
Yeah, it's been okay.
Not jumpy. Usually we have a problem with it going jumpy every. Now I've said that, it's going to start, isn't it? Okay, bot move to position. And this is a bot tunnel to funnel. Okay, so corridor 3, I'm going to actually check if I have a corridor 3. I've no doubt there's a variable for it, but I don't know whether it's got anything in it. It does, but it's only a single thing, so bin that off. Let's create corridor 3. Oh, getting over it. Before I do anything, let's keep an eye on where the computer's planned rooms are. I don't want to make it destroy any of its rooms. I think it's already dug there. So I think what I'll do is I'll make it take this route in between its 2 rooms. Okay, so what have we got? 17997. One 16998. 16000. 15001. 14003.
Yeah, this is Brood Sisters Verdant Shade.
13004. Sure you all love hearing me read numbers off. Highlight of your day. 13005.
What are these values?
Tile numbers. It's tile identifiers. Basically, you don't want to refer to a tile directly because if the tile grid ever gets remade at some point for any reason,
Gets deleted. And...
yeah, it redoes all the numbers. It redoes all the actors, so the numbers definitely pick
so it's all going to get messed
the
up.
right tile. Well, the numbers stay the same because they're to do with like the X and Y coordinate, unless you shrink the tile grid to be smaller. Then it's just the way we've set it up. It's good practice to use the identifiers rather than the rather than the tiles themselves. 12007.
Fair enough.
Finally, 11008. Right. I'm saving. Quick. Pretty spot on. Okay, so then let's do the test that we did earlier. Add the new corridor in. See what comes up. Some things we can test, but not many at the minute. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't think that's going to interfere. Okay, so I'm going to give the computer 20 seconds to dig that corridor, then it's going to start sending units to their death. Add it into the array again. On the road again. I love to be on the road again. Sorry, I'll stop singing. I'll be hurting people's ears.
Yeah, it's raining hard enough it is, John. Right, that's all I want to do with newsletter for now. I'll add a bit more to it later or tomorrow.
Cool.
Do you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to stick up another YouTube video. I'm drip feeding them. Yeah, it's time. The last one was a week or so ago. Might be fun actually at some point to do a stream on YouTube.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because
yeah,
I think it'd get more viewers, but
it would. It'd be a different audience altogether.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I raised it with people before whether I should consider that. Apparently Twitch don't like it if you stream in multiple places at once.
Wouldn't do it at once. You'd have to do it separately.
Yeah. Group. No, it's group 2, position 4. Okay, I need to delay first as well, didn't I? I said 20 seconds. So 20 seconds later. They're going to start sending ants there.
As far as the World War of the Ants video.
Oh yeah, that's the video I was talking about.
I've seen a bunch of videos from that channel anyway. It's well worth going through the old videos, a variety of topics.
Mm-hmm.
Political, scientific, all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice to see the interaction between army ants and leaf cutters.
Yeah, came up.
Which, to be honest, when we were doing our research for the level, we couldn't find much of.
Yeah, it
like
was,
interaction between the two. In fact, Liam asked some entomologists is it realistic, in fact, for these two to clash, and they said sure. Don't see why not.
Well, there's actually more information about the a different type of army ant clashing with leaf cutters, but they're not as impressive looking.
Yeah.
So we basically asked the entomologists what would happen if they bumped into this, because they're likely to, because they are in the same.
They do overlap. Yeah.
And they said it was entirely plausible that they would attack them.
yeah, I think so. Particularly if it's a fledgling colony like that. Yeah. Is female scientist hair blonde, brown, or black? She dyes it purple. Basically, we don't even know if it's a female or not. We deliberately don't.
Yeah.
We've got two voice actors who do the parts. You imbue physical qualities into them, however you imagine them. Someone has actually posted a picture of how he imagines the male scientist number 2.
How was it?
Scientist number 2, not necessarily male. You never know.
Yeah.
Looks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, someone did a sketch of it, didn't they?
Yeah, with kind of the lamp on the forehead, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, they're deliberately physically nondescript. Yeah. Are the scientists? So you
even
imagine them how you imagine.
You even gave scientist one gloves to.
Indeed, yeah. So to just get around the idea of skin tone, we didn't want even that to be an issue. So he or it or they, however they identify, wears blue gloves.
So whatever you want them to be.
Yep. It's we don't like to deal with people, basically.
Yeah.
we deal with ants.
People. Position 4, group 2.
The guy I want my ants to bite. I think everyone wants to bite scientists too. Yeah, not a nice person.
Position 4, group 2. Yeah, that's okay. So 20 seconds out, it sends them to the team. Okay, it's going to send them for another 5 minutes. So delay for 5 minutes. Okay, so that's the funnel webs done. They only have, I believe. Okay, so then the computer's going to attack a bunch of small beach tiger beetles above ground. Okay, so delay 5 minutes. And then they'll move their marker to position 5, which doesn't exist yet. So let's make that exist. Off we fly.
He robbed the terrarium and killed my ants. He did. Yeah. He gets impatient. Not a shouldn't really be working in a scientific set. Shouldn't really be working with any sort of living creatures at all.
The company clearly doesn't have a very good vetting process.
Their HR's definitely phoning it in, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not doing their background checks.
That said, I suspect a job working with ants, you don't actually need much background checking.
No.
The poor ants.
Side note, love the work you guys did for the colour scheme. Pink is so intense, black ant, I love it. I really like
hot pink.
There's a kind of a really strong purple, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I like the subtler pink, but my favourite is grey. I think grey looks fantastic.
Like White Walker ants.
Yeah, so essentially, there's a slight blueness to them as well. Yeah. Have you saw my suggestion to this level? Do you want to repeat it, Daniel? We may have missed it earlier. Red Moth says, can you give us a short tour of the competing colony's nest in Queen of the Hill? Yeah, we can do that in a bit.
Yeah.
John's working at the moment. Yeah, well, we can do that in a short while.
Okay, so that was
quite utilitarian, isn't it? There's not much to see down there.
Yeah, it's a nest. It's a pre-set up nest.
It is a nest, but yeah, we'll show you.
One day we might even activate being able to go into them, but it will require some edits of the level.
It would
a little bit.
I've always thought it was a bit of a shame that the queen doesn't really do anything. She just runs in and dies.
Yeah, she's not going to attack. To be fair, but it is a bit strange.
Yeah, because you kind of think, oh, big creature, this is going to be a kind of final boss, but then no.
No, she just dies.
No, I have to twist Matt's arm to do a biting attack animation for her.
Okay, so what's next on the list of things? I added that in. That should work fine. So there it attacks the small beach tiger beetles overground, the small ones. Then it's going to attack the hermit crabs overground. So 5 minutes later, it's like a terrible rip-off of that zombie film.
They're not zombies. They're infected.
Yes,
sorry. God.
Okay, so 5 minutes later, we're going to go to position 6, which doesn't exist yet. So here's position 6. These are the hermit crabs it's going to attack. Add it into the array. I keep pasting as if that's going to do something. We've kind of got to the point now where we're just grinding this level out. There's no different tasks really coming up. It's just more of the same.
Yeah, this is just the not fun setup process, isn't it?
Yeah. We've done the fun bits. We figured out the problems and that. And now we're...
Isn't it amazing how video games change language? John is describing this as grinding. You just described...
Yeah.
This is a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very much
it's not
video
fun,
games,
but it's necessary to get to your goal.
Grind it out. Much like an MMO.
Except this one is intrinsically linked to your income, John.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next on the list? So, next, it attacks the Devil's Coach Horse Adults Underground, so we're going to have to build another corridor for this one.
Is it me or the Ant Queen's kind of cute? Yeah, they've got big eyes.
Oh.
Well, if you're the kind of person who isn't grossed out by insects, I'm not. I can find insects and little things cute. I think the jumping spiders are adorable.
Aww.
They're adorable.
Oh, bless it.
Aww.
Right, so the computer at this point is going to tunnel around to here. So this is actually going to be the longest corridor we've done. So get ready for some juicy numbers. I know you all love your numbers. What corridor is this going to be? Was it 3 we did last? My guess is it's 3 we did last.
I don't know, John, you're supposed to be keeping track of this.
I think it's corridor 4. I will check, because the last thing I want to do is delete a load of numbers and have to put them in again. Did corridor 3, yeah, so... Long corridor. Okay, first one. 2, 6, 9, 8, 9. 2, 6, 9, 8, 9. 2, 7, 9, 8, 9. You also thought that was some sort of sequence there, but no, unfortunately. Click the next one and it'll be off. 28988. Two 9988. Three 0987. Three 0988. Three 1988. Three 1989. So it's 31989. Three 2988. Three 3988. And finally 34987. Okay. I'm saving. How you speedrun? You sped that up too soon.
I did. It's not an exact science, John. Oh, okay, I'm just going to leave it to play what it suggested.
That might...
It's an 8-bit version, I think we're fine.
Yeah. Is this what you've been listening to on there?
Apparently. I mean, if you look at the rest of the suggestions, it's red letter media for the most part. Anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, probably sounds awful down the microphone.
It sounds awful here. I mean...
Right, okay, so let's test corridor 4. Make sure it looks right. Yep, I think that works.
Okay, I'm trying to work out where you're at. I think this was, you did one, you then started another, and then you came back to this one.
Yeah,
so,
I am jumping around a bit with them, but that's because I get to a point where...
Well, you've got to keep the variety, haven't
Yeah.
you? Keep yourself motivated. Did you have a name for that first one?
I didn't like it, so no, there's no name.
Right, okay.
I think it's down as Spring A Trap, but it's not a very good name.
We'll go with another.
The idea was that it was about, because you could build trap doors, but...
There we go, network error out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Bird and Shade didn't, okay, you got some network issues. Didn't hold out.
Aww.
How you speedrun Empires of the Undergrowth? Ask someone who's good at it. I have no idea.
Some levels can't actually be speedrun because you just wait. You've got to wait for the next thing to happen. Ones that can be speedrun are level 2, 1, 2, level 1, 1 and 1, 2 can both be speedrun. 3, 2 and 3, 1.
Some of the demo levels as well.
So it's only the 2, 1 and 2, 2 that can't.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I think for the second tier, there's. I mean, they both last about 40 minutes. The levels. I wasn't a big fan, and I think we ultimately came to the decision that we didn't want a hard limit on how long you have to spend playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're very good at it, you can finish 3-1 and 3-2 quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But it still averages about 40 minutes a play through those levels. But you can do it quicker. It can take longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally wasn't a big fan of the hard timing.
Yeah. I think because a good player could actually get bored in certain situations.
Right, here's an interesting one. If you got an offer from Epic Games to go exclusive, would you take it? Right. To be honest, I sympathise with a lot of developers who have gone the exclusive option because basically Epic have gone full Godfather and made them an offer they can't refuse. They haven't told what the it's not public information what the deal is there, but you're a small developer struggling to make ends meet, and they say he is X number of thousands of dollars, stroke millions, to go exclusive.
One of the developers did let something slip about it, and it was along the lines of they basically you will definitely break even if it doesn't make any sales. I think that's the idea is that they can assure an amount of cash to break you even.
So it might not be relevant for us really, because it's not really an issue right now, is it?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That what could
they could offer a very large amount of money. Well, let's be honest here. Would we take it if Epic came along and said, "Here's $10 million"? We go, yeah. I don't think there's much point in denying that.
Yeah.
But that said, I don't think it's really on the cards for us, is it?
It would have to be an offer we couldn't refuse.
It would have to be an offer we couldn't refuse. Basically, yeah, an offer that had set us up for years. Mm-hmm. It's not on the cards.
Yeah,
basically, but
we're
not going to lie and say
my personal belief on exclusives is I've always hated them.
Yeah.
Even when I own the console that they're coming out on, because it was before Epic, it was mostly a console thing, exclusives, and as much as I particularly when a game like what Bungie did, I particularly didn't like that when there was exclusive content for one platform.
Yeah. To
kind of shoehorn people into buying on that platform, that really does feel like a dirty sales tactic.
Yeah, that sits badly with me.
Yeah. Bungie have got rid of that as soon as they're away from Activision again. It's funny the way things go.
Yeah, once they didn't have to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I wouldn't worry about it. We don't like exclusives.
And we're on Steam, and I would not want to upset.
We've made most of our money through Steam, and
I would not want to upset.
We've got a big old fan base on Steam.
Yeah.
And it would be more or less suicide too.
Yeah.
So basically, if Epic decided to buy us for so much money...
buy us? If they bought us for a ridiculous amount of money.
To force us to go exclusive for so much money that we couldn't say no, then we wouldn't say yes. But it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I just wouldn't worry about it.
No.
I like it on Steam as well. I like Steam systems.
They're the longest running one. They've got the best setup.
Yeah, and they've got stuff in the pipeline to update the whole look of Steam, and that is going on at the minute. I know we have to upload some new images and stuff to Steam. I don't like exclusives in general, and we'll try. We do try and make Empires a game you can buy in multiple locations. But you have to remember, we're not just on Steam as well.
Yeah, we are also
we're on GOG
and itch.io.
Yeah. So we've already got obligations to multiple companies and people, and
although seriously, unless it was a stupid amount of money, can you imagine us just putting the middle finger up to everyone who's supported us on Steam?
No.
It's not going to happen, guys. Yeah, but you do feel for the fans who have supported, you know, kind of grassroots projects. Which
Yeah, there's been one or two which have like done like Kickstarters saying they're going to be on
That's the
Steam,
thing.
and then like, at the 11th hour suddenly go, and we're an exclusive, yay,
Yeah.
and pretend it's a good thing.
We're super excited
Yeah,
to announce. Both of those words are in my never use list as a social media person. Never say super and excited next to each other in a sentence, unless talking about how cliched it is. Loot boxes in Empires of the
No.
We talked about doing that as an April Fool's.
Yeah, but we decided it'd be too dangerous even to do as an
Yeah.
April Fool's.
But then Black Mesa did it.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did
I didn't see that
lambda
one.
boxes.
I need to look at. Did it get a lot of rage?
I'm sure it did.
And
Like
then immediately afterwards go, oh, hang on,
Yeah.
sorry. I just looked at the date.
WTF is this? Oh, NVM. Yeah, we didn't do an April Fool's this year, and I think our philosophy with April Fool's is go big or go home, really.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do a silly little one again this year. We did a small one last year, but if we did an April Fool's, it'd be a big one in the project, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe something you could play with.
Yeah, something along those lines. There was a game that did an April Fool. I can't remember what game it was, but it might have even been like For Honor or something, and they had like what do you call them, those bunny things? Oh, I can't remember. But it's like a medieval sword fighting game or something.
I know For Honor.
And they added in a level where you were slaying like these cartoon bunnies.
Yeah.
and they they announced it was coming, and everyone was like, oh, it's an April Fool's, and then
they did it. Yeah.
actually cropped into
Absolutely.
the game.
That's the way to do an April Fool's.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's on the area of ant skins, there is a Kickstarter exclusive one that's coming that changes basically your Formicroraptor ants, but that was a Kickstarter thing.
What would be in the loot crates for Empires in the hats?
Hats, yeah, just hats.
Hats of various colour.
Yeah.
Xmas hat during Christmas was cute. Yeah, that's still there.
We're not doing loot boxes
We're
either.
not doing loot boxes. We might do cosmetics, but they're not going to be paid for cosmetics.
Yeah.
You have to unlock them in the game without having to pay for them. Mike, do you watch Mum Key Jones? The fact that I just had to Google Mum Key Jones should probably give you the answer to that.
Right. I need to try and... I haven't done any
April
work in a
Fool's
while.
playable elites. Elites, no.
But dig corridor note for... Okay, so I'm going to comment some of these. So that was Tunnel to the Funnel Web. So attack small beach tiger beetles. This one was it hermit crabs?
Okay, if I don't know if any of you guys watching are interested, but I've just put up a new YouTube video. It's just one of these
streams
that John did.
You could watch me stream whilst watching me stream.
Yeah, you can go full on Inception with it if you like.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's some Easter eggs in Empires in the Grove.
There's a couple of film
There's
references.
references, yeah. There's film references
In the voice acting for free play. And something that
elsewhere as
scientist
well.
says, yeah, there's a couple of film references in the voice
Yeah,
acting.
also the narrator says the enemy colony is easily startled, but they'll soon return and in greater numbers. Which is a Star Wars reference. So there's little pop culture references here and there.
There can be only one.
Yes, that's the scientist saying that. Yeah, when you battle the rival colony in Formicarian 3. Easter eggs, as in pure Easter eggs that you put in a hidden little message or something, they take time to do.
Yeah, I don't think we've put anything in. Maybe we'll have some by the end.
We could do. I know Liam wanted to put in some things you can activate in certain ways. Should we say that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts as a.
It's not really an Easter egg.
No,
It's a secret.
We might talk about that in the future, but probably not. Just see if anyone finds it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not an Easter egg.
So what am I doing? Oh, position 6 was the last one that went down, and that was attacking the hermit crabs. So what's position 5? What's position 4? Oh, that might be attack the funnel webs. Ah. Yeah, this is. Harvest from funnel web. This one's attack. Small beach tiger beetles. This one's attack the hermit crabs. Okay, so as it digs that corridor, it's gonna send group 2 home. Then...
Oh, your zombie ant illness for Halloween, in case you had ideas. You're talking about cordyceps.
Yeah, they're really cool, those things.
They are. Also, the whole plot point to The Last of Us, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I would have liked to have seen in the main campaign, but there's right material there for side missions, stuff like that.
It's a funny one as well, because I'm not really sure how you deal with it.
I've got some ideas.
I mean, in reality, the ants do try and get rid of them. They try and take them out the nest.
My thought would be it'd probably need an extra animation, like a, like you have doing like that or something, and then you've got to deliberately spot it and highlight it before it spreads. Once it reaches a saturation point, then the level ends,
You could have it so, like, if you placed a marker next to it, ants in that group can spot it within a very short radius of that marker. That might be a good way of doing it. Attach hermit crabs. Attach. Attack. Okay, so Tom's hour. I'm making loads of sense here. 30 seconds later, move the bots to position 7.
Easter egg, put one dancing crab into one dancing crab rave. Well, we could download some mocap data and see how that translates to the hermit crab skeleton, but I would imagine not very well. I don't think we'll convince Matt to do an animation for dancing crabs.
That's the problem. we all our skeletons are quite unique. We're not really following any. We can't just take data from other skeletons.
Yeah, those all those other devs that deal with humanoids. They have it easy, don't they?
There's a game that's just, I think it's in early access at the minute. It's something like crab fight. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about fighting crabs, and you've got to flip the other crab over.
I'll see if I can find it.
It's quite
Fight crab.
Yeah, that'll be it. It looks quite derpy, really.
Fight crab. Yeah, they've got knives.
Yeah.
And morning stars and flails.
It looks like a good party game.
Yeah, well, it's along the lines of, any number of those party games. Mount Your Friends or...
Yeah. Okay, so position 7 we need to create. So this is underground. And this is it defending itself. Defend yourself!
Formicarian 2, why no aphids? We don't want to give a... If you mean in the Formicarian itself, we don't want to give an infinite food source in the Formicarian. If you mean in the levels themselves, well, we've kind of done that, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done aphids.
We've done aphids, so we want to do some other stuff.
Coming up, a little preview... Oh, what are they? There's another thing the ants milk for honeydew. Is it dune bugs or?
There are several bugs that.
There's one
like true bugs that secrete.
I think there's
honeydew.
one that fire ants are actually known for milking, and I think it was requested as a Kickstarter creature.
In which case, we're obliged to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for those that don't know, when we did our Kickstarter, one of the reward tiers was if you don't got to a certain level of donation, you could request a creature to be in the game. Ones that have already been in the game are the mole cricket.
Other cricket. There was actually just a generic cricket request,
which we've actually put in as the spiny devil.
Yeah, spiny devil.
The spiny devil, which is great. Really, really fun creature actually. The spiny devil. It's always looking at you. I don't know if you've noticed. Always looks at the camera. And also the ladybird even. But
ladybird was requested.
Yeah, which was one of the requested creatures.
Has someone beat you to it yet?
Not yet.
What creature would fire ants harvest for honeydew?
The only reason I asked, in the second Formicarium, when a colony normally moves from the nest, the queen won't go anywhere without a royal guard, and you have her on her own, so I thought it might add a slight balance. Nothing to balance, I think it's fairly well balanced as it is. Yeah, if you put an infinite food source in the Formicarium, then it just becomes a nightmare. Really, you can just leave the computer running with enough storage space, and over time you build up a huge amount of resources.
There's been a few exploits in our game accidentally that allow people to just farm it without doing. We shut them down when we hear about them, but.
Scale insects.
It wasn't what I was thinking of actually. I can't remember what it was.
Some caterpillars as well.
No, it wasn't them. I need to.
Fixing my end took much longer this time. I haven't missed much. Not really.
I can't remember what it was.
I'm sure it'll come up again.
Oh yeah, I can actually look it up, but what am I doing? I've lost track again. Oh, I've added group 7 in, so I'm moving on to the next thing. Okay, so I needed the delay there. I haven't added the delay there. Another 5-minute one.
How you doing with your grind?
What's the oh, where am I on the list? We're currently attacking the Devil's Coach Horse adults. So we need to attack the beach tiger beetle larvae. So that's another surface attack. So it's just another 300-second delay. Then we attack group 8.
Hi Firedud, thanks for joining us.
I think essentially they've got these and then the beach tiger beetles to attack. I think then essentially they're just going to go one at a time, going through everything that's on the map. Just the player might have cleared it already, but it's just going to move its group around, and then it's done. At that point, either you or the computer should have killed everything. Okay. See, a few minutes of concentration, I think we'll be done. Right, again, 300 seconds later. Yeah, it's the beach tiger beetles next.
Let's Draco. I just came from your YouTube channel. I wanted to ask you if that's the level for 4.2. No, this is a side mission, which we're going to be doing regularly, kind of monthly if we can, from when we release the next large update, which will be a free play overhaul. We won't be streaming the development of 4.1 and 4.2 because those are story spoilers. The good news is, John went for a long hiatus from streaming while we were developing 3.1 and 3.2 because you didn't want to spoil stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But with these ongoing
monthly
levels, there's always going to be work to stream, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is good content for streaming as well. So if you guys enjoy the streams, there'll be more of them, even when we get properly stuck into doing 4.1 and 4.2.
Because there's no story on these levels.
No, these are all one-offs.
They're just little challenges, so there's nothing really to spoil.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, set marking. I've noticed a delay for some lamps when you assign a new marker location. Is that an intended? It's intended. The idea is that unlike say in StarCraft, you can imagine all the troops in StarCraft have a radio link to the commander or a hive mind connection to the the swarm, to whatever, and therefore they can respond to commands instantly. However, your ant colony is an ant colony. They don't have instant telepathic or radio communication. They communicate chemically. So if a pheromone trail moves, I mean our version of the pheromone trail moving is a much more simplified version than it is in nature, then it's going to take time for the ants to respond a bit sluggishly. It's going to take time for them to notice the change in direction. So it's the greying out of the marker, and the little number next to the marker, by the way, is how many ants are currently taking notice of that marker. So you'll notice the grey one ticks down while the new marker ticks up. It only takes a few seconds, but The idea is there to make it feel a bit more natural and a bit more like an ant colony, as opposed to like an army you're commanding with a radio.
Okay, I believe at this point I actually wanted them...
Monthly, yes. Yeah, monthly if we can. That's the idea. The side missions take much less time to do than the main missions because we have to create new assets for the main missions, basically. They have to be written, they have to be voice acted, has new music, new artwork, animations, whole new systems sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, particularly with the leaf cutters, which took a long time to perfect. Matt's very clever way of doing the climbing up the leaves, for instance, was something that we had to develop from scratch. Well, he had to develop from scratch. Yeah. Not to steal his thunder at all. But with the side missions, the turnaround can be really quick. For instance, in the more recent demo level, the Crucible, which Liam developed, didn't really take him much more than a week, really.
Yeah, it was slightly over a week.
Yeah, just over a week, and that's a fully fledged level, just without all the voice acting and the music and such like, and all the extra systems we have to do for the high quality polished campaign levels. We don't have to do that for side missions. So much bigger turnaround, a lot more content coming your way soon, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we accept that we've not been great at getting content out at a good speed. And this is kind of us trying to address that issue without
compromising the quality of the campaign.
It will take time out. It should only take short chunks of time out the campaign. And at the moment, there's not much I could do on the campaign anyway with all the movement systems broken.
Uh-huh.
So the idea is we take a small amount of time for a large amount of content in these monthly missions. Or a larger amount of content. A year from now, there should be a big selection of monthly missions.
12.
Well,
not 9 to 12.
Yeah,
we'll see. Depends how long it takes for these
movement systems.
These all new changes to be implemented. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as the movement systems are back in place, we can.
That makes sense. So a side mission is like the nest. Yeah, you could imagine the existing one like that. But it can be more experimentative than that. Like the one that John's working on at the moment, this one here, that he's called Brood Sisters. There's two colonies, your colony and an ally colony. The ally colony is going to be really stupid and take on things that it can't cope with, but you've got to keep it alive. So, we can do fun stuff like that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, constrained to the rules of the campaign game.
Okay, so sends its...
On quality, not quantity. Yeah, that's the prevailing attitude with most people. It's just a vocal few that get really annoyed that we're not pumping out daily updates like any of the other larger indie developers. Yeah. I just started my new Formicarium. Good luck with it.
Real one.
My Formicarium got deleted because I switched computer. Yeah, it's a shame. You need to back up if you're doing that.
There are... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking into activating like a kind of light mode of the... of Steam cloud saving at some point. We need to look into it properly. We will integrate Steamworks with the game fully at some point. But there are other options there, like a simplified version of it, which we are looking into. I'm not sure when that will happen, but yeah, we do want to get cloud saving in properly.
Delay.
I think most use their time trying to complete the insane difficulty missions.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
We made sure insane difficulty was actually insane.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You've got to keep trying that for a long time.
You balance it to the point where John can almost do it.
Yeah. That's the idea, is that if I can nearly do it, not quite there. Me and Liam can nearly do it and can't. It's probably there. It's probably
because someone will be able to do that.
Yeah. I'm at a standard where I can complete the hard levels on most missions fairly consistently, but sometimes I fail them.
Yeah, Firedud. I'm just going to link you to a Steam thread. I don't know if it'll be much use to you now. or rather just an address, a link on to your computer, assuming you're using Windows. If you copy and paste that into Windows Explorer, obviously replace your username with your username. Then that location there is where all your save games are. If you email them everything that's in there, email it to yourself or zip it up and stick it on a thumb drive, and then copy it to the same location on another computer, then that's the way to back up or move over your save games for now until we do properly implement cloud save.
It's your computer username as well, not your Steam username.
Yeah, your username, yes. So, yeah.
Okay, so 3 minutes later, what's going to happen? We're going to attack the ditch hermit crabs.
That's very good. So you just play with side missions to get new ideas, and the players are happy to get new missions every time. Yeah, we have a bit of fun with them.
Yeah, just try experimenting with stuff that we can't really do in the missions
Absolutely.
a lot of the time.
And it's these also a fun thing here is obviously every decision for the campaign is done by committee. The three of you, and I have a bit of input as well, not as much as you three, decide how those things go. Whereas with doing missions by yourself, it's only one person developing them, and it's not done by committee. It's whatever you like to
dictatorship.
It's by dictatorship. Yeah, it's by pure dictatorship. But it does mean that even if you have an idea one of the other two consider silly, they don't have to play it.
Yeah.
Or develop it.
Yeah, it's another thing we can do with these side missions is we can do things that stretch reality. It doesn't need to be as because in the campaign people expect a certain level of kind of, it's not real, but it's a certain level of realism. So we kind of conform to certain aspects of real. But in these side missions, we can go a bit crazy. Okay, so it was the ditch hermit crabs, then the ditch beach tiger beetles. I'm just going to add these marker points in, then so I'm going to batch process this.
So the side missions can be just pure chaos. Well, I'd like to think it'd be ordered chaos.
Yeah. This level follows a set sequence, so you can learn what the computer's going to do next if you want, and preempt its stupidity. The first one that I was working on was just a pure underground level, and it's a little bit of a puzzle to work out which thing to kill next to work your way up and kill and the idea is you end it by killing the big whip spider. Okay, so it's the ditch beach tiger beetles. Okay, so what I've got written next is finally the computer will attack the remaining packs on the player's side, and then if the player has not finished at this point, it'll begin attacking the uber hermit crab.
By which point, game over, basically.
Yeah. If you've let it get that far. Okay, so that will attack the player. That's actually scripted to hit the player at some point. I think it's literally just this, then this, and then finally it's going to attack the uber hermit crab. I think when it does attack the uber hermit crab, I'm actually going to send the uber hermit crab at the computer. just to ruin your day.
To drive the point home.
Yeah. That you've taken too long.
Yeah. Trying to think how you word the thing. As in, because you don't have to kill the uber crab.
Yeah.
How do you word it though, so people don't think you have to?
Well, that's a good point.
Kill all regular creatures.
Kill all non-glowing creatures.
Okay. You just put a number on it, if you knew the exact number.
10, so it's 11, what is it? 11, 12, 13 and 14, they all need to be brought in.
Okay, cheers Verdant Shade, yeah, internet's not being very good for you at the moment. If you wanted to catch up with the rest of it at some point, then you can always look on past broadcasts on Twitch.
Yeah.
And eventually I'll put them up on YouTube as well. So yeah, cheers for coming along.
We're about to end soon.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, it's coming up to 3. So yeah,
and I've basically these 4 things are what's left in the level, and that's the end of the whole level sequence.
Until we can test it.
So next stream we'll probably go back to there was the tug of war style level. I don't know what we can do next stream actually is it's auto saving. What we can do next stream is the computer's actions in the tug of war level. Right. Okay, so
if that gets content ID'd, then that's rubbish.
I'd be amazed if it does. That wasn't even in key, I don't think. Okay, so this is literally. I should just be able to.
So you need to steal food from your ally because you won't use it as good as you. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you can do.
Pretty much.
As long as you keep them alive during it.
Yeah.
It's up to you how you play the level.
Yeah. Think of yourself as an older sister. Yeah, you can take the cookies from them, but you're not going to kill them. You're going to keep them alive. Yeah.
Good advice. Don't kill your sister.
Just take the cookies.
Just take the cookies. Okay, so I'll give it 5 minutes at that point. The one thing I think we might need to drive home in this is you need to kill your underground creatures as well, because some people might forget about that. Anyway, this is going to require a lot of balance.
Of course it is.
So I'll just put a comment around these and say clean up. That was badly typed. Creatures. Okay, I think that is that. I'd love to test it, but we're in this annoying floaty period where the movement's being rewritten, so that's all we can do on that front. So yeah, the free play update that will be coming will be beta tested. Yeah, it'll have an open beta for anyone that owns the game. Mostly because we need to thoroughly test the new movement systems, and also the new free play systems. And giving people new content to do that is the best chance of it being thoroughly tested.
Yeah.
So yeah, there will be an open beta. It's not truly an open beta.
You have to open
beta to the owners of the game. At the point of the free play update. Well, just before it releases, obviously. To test the new movement systems and the new free play systems that have been put in.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff for free play, isn't there? I mean, things like being able to share setups with other people with just like a code from your clipboard, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can share free play setups. You can do victory conditions. The leaf cutters are coming to free play.
Yeah, whole new tile set, the jungle.
Yeah, a new map.
New map.
So yeah. And along with that, I think we'll release the first monthly level as well. So
one of these ones that you're working on now.
Probably the underground one.
Makes sense. The easiest one that doesn't need much in the way of artwork, does it? Yeah.
Then maybe this one next. We shall see.
Oh.
Right. So thank you for joining us. It's been great to have so many people interacting in the chat. It's so much more interesting when there's not just one person speaking. It's great when there's quite a few. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow for more amazing live stream. So find us then. I would guess around 11 we'll be starting roughly. So it's 11 UK time. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us, and we shall see you later.
See you on the morrow. See you guys.